In this video, I am going to do a walkthrough of revisions for your quizzes. So in this class, I offer the opportunity for students to submit revisions to quiz questions that they got wrong. And the purpose of this is twofold. One is that I really hate multiple choice tests, and it is a necessary evil because this is how your licensing board exams will look when you go to take them after graduation. Most every state licensing board uses the ASWB exam, and all of the questions on that exam are multiple choice. And so I have strategically had you do quizzes and your final exam in this format to help you prepare yourself for taking this type of test. Secondly, I have the process, revisions process to help me streamline questions and concerns from students. So sometimes students may not understand a question, or may think that a question has a typo or has the wrong answer on it. And it is very difficult for me to field these questions through email. And so this is a streamlined place for students to put those concerns and where those will be addressed. So, when you have questions about what I call a bad apple question, that goes in the revisions. And when I am grading the revisions, that's when I consider what kind of decision I'll make about that question. Also, this gives you a learning opportunity. So I do not have the setting marked off for you to see the correct answers on the quizzes, only the ones that you've missed, because I want you to think critically about this and to go back to the lecture, to go back to the book, to think about what the best answer is. So I'm going to share my screen with you now to show you the place where you will upload your revisions and what kind of things I am going to ask you for in your revisions. So this is our home page for this course on Moodle. Whenever you want to do revisions, you'll find it in that module on the left. So for module 1, that's where we had quiz 1, and the revisions will be due in module 2, so it will be found in the module 2 section where you upload those. I'm going to go ahead and show you my view because module 2 is not available to you yet. So you'll see you'll have module 2 available to you soon. We'll click on that and we'll scroll down, and you'll always be able to find the quiz revisions under activities. You also will have a link here in your checklist too, and it'll take you down to the revisions. So for the revisions are optional. For revisions, you have an opportunity to earn 2 of the 5 points back from the original quiz. So if you got 3 wrong, that means that you would have gotten 15 points off of your original test. Then you can earn up to 6 points back. All right. The guidelines and the template for the revisions are attached here. Additional credit won't be awarded if you did not answer the question on the original quiz. So if you ran out of time, those questions do not count, only ones that you answered incorrectly. Also, I know that things come up and there are extraordinary circumstances. If you think that you have one of those, always reach out to me. I am very willing to work with students. Then the last thing to note is when the deadline is. So, unless again there are extraordinary circumstances, you have to submit these revisions by their due date, which is the Sunday of that next week. We don't have a quiz 6 in this class, so this sentence does not apply. All of them are due on the Sunday after the original due date. So for quiz 1, these will be due on March 28th, which is in when your module 2 assignments are due. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this so you can see the attachments. So there is a template and there are guidelines. I'm going to click on the guidelines first. So this goes through a lot of the things that I've already told you. So you can earn up to 2 points back. You need to use the template. You need to follow all the instructions. The instructions are crafted very intentionally, and so you need to follow the instructions. Sometimes there are bad apple questions, like I mentioned. If you think you were the victim of a bad apple question, then I want you to do all of the same things that you would for any quiz revision, but I also want you to put a asterisk by it so I know that that's one that you're wanting consideration for. If you are able to show me that you understand the underlying concept of the question, or if it was just a bad apple question and maybe there was a setting that was wrong, then I will consider giving full credit back to you. But you have to do it through this process. Please do not email me about this. Okay, so the quiz revisions again due the Sunday following the quiz. You'll note that I have criteria. So to get the full points, this is what I'm looking for, that you chose the correct answer, that the rationale was accurate. So you'll see when we get to the template what I mean by that. And then the rationale was comprehensive, so it was fully answered. And then you followed the instructions. So you followed all of these instructions here. So you can see you don't automatically just get 2 points for doing the revisions. You may have some half points taken off for these different reasons. Okay, so the instructions also have a template guide for you. So this is what the template looks like. You should put your question here and please put all of the response options. This helps me to not have to go in and out of the actual quiz and saves me time when I'm grading. If you don't do that, then it takes me a lot longer to grade these. And this helped me out a lot. Also, you are going to want to type out what your original incorrect answer was. And then you want to type the correct answer. And notice that I'm putting the letter and the full response here. That's what I expect you to write. And then for the rationale, this is where you show me that you understand why you got the question wrong and you understand those concepts that are underlying the question. So in this question, this is a research question for the example, and it's asking about pre-experimental designs, and my choices are that they're the weakest group research designs, they control for sources of internal validity, they control for most sources of external invalidity, or D, they are an excellent choice for drawing causal inferences. I put D. for my answer, and that was wrong. And the actual answer is A, that they're the weakest. So now in my rationale, I need to explain that I know what pre-experimental designs are and why they are not excellent for drawing causal conclusions and why they are the weakest group research design. So I said pre-experimental designs cannot produce causal findings because they're susceptible to the most threats of internal validity due to their lack of a control group or pre-test post-test. In other words, pre-experimental designs are the right answer, of group research design in terms of controlling for the threats to internal validity. Okay, so that tells me that I know why this is the wrong answer and why this is the right answer. And I've put here where I've drawn this conclusion from, where I got the information in the book to draw this conclusion. Do not copy and paste from your textbook and use your own words here. You should not use any direct quotes in your revisions. If you do, then you won't get the full 2 points back. They need to be in this format because this is all done very intentionally. This is to teach you how to paraphrase. This paraphrasing problems are one of the biggest reasons why students get in trouble for unintentional plagiarism whenever paraphrasing is not strong enough. So that's why I want you to practice this here. Then I've already told you my rationales for this, that it makes it easier and typing it out is gonna help you to process this and the revisions a lot more than if you're just copying and pasting. All right. So I hope that that helps you to understand what I expect in my revisions for you to get your full 2 points back or the full 5 points back if you have a bad apple. If you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out.